Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Grant Sparks with the Grant Sparks Show. Does manifestation work? And I'm here to say emphatically, manifestation does not work. At least not the way we've been programmed to believe. So how can we know if manifestation is working? How do we know when we have doubts about our future, when it's looking grim, when things aren't looking so hot? Do we quit, or is that just a doubter? And if we doubt our manifestation when things are tough, does that mean we never truly believed? These are the self-shame cycles I have been in when it comes to prayer, when it comes to manifestation, when it comes to law of attraction. I have been wrestling with this since the first time I saw The Secret, since the first time I was a prayer in church, since the first time I saw the 13-hour special called What the Bleep Do We Know. I still desperately believe in personal development. Now, personal development isn't necessarily synonymous with manifestation and the New Thought Movement's teachings. But I know for me, when times are exceptionally tough, I do second guess myself and wonder, am I going down the right path? If I deviate from this path, is this doubting? And does that mean that I never believed in manifestation? If I deviate from this path, or if I throw my give up, throw my hands up and give up on any one of my goals, my business goals, my fitness goals, my manifestation goals, my money goals, my relationship goals, if I give up on any of them, does that mean I never believed? And does that mean that I suddenly abort this thing in manifestation? Like there's a message in manifestation that your solution is on the way. It's right there. And the concern about doubt, the concern about deviating from a course is, if I quit right now, will I lose out on something that's just around the corner? And then the question comes up, haven't I always been thinking that my solution is right around the corner? If you're believing that your small business is going to take off and suddenly provide your dream dollars, and if you just hold on long enough, as manifestation and law of attraction teach us, if you just hold on long enough, you'll suddenly reap the rewards. And my question is, for all of those who have made fantastic money or have seen fantastic results in manifestation, in law of attraction, in positive thinking, in personal development, for those who have seen great results, how many more thousands of people have we seen lose it all? And beyond just losing money, losing a sense of identity because their identity was wrapped up in positive personal development. Now, listen, I'm Mr. Goal Setter. I'm Mr. Goal Getter. I've got my goal getter hat right back there. I have my goal setting book. I've been at this thing a long time. I've been a goal setting coach. I'm still a goal coach. I believe in setting goals. These are not necessarily synonymous with law of attraction. These are not necessarily synonymous with manifestation. They're not necessarily synonymous with any one of these other schools of thought, but they can be, and they can amplify your results significantly. So today, what I'm going to be sharing with you is my own journey with doubt and fear of, if I suddenly change direction, am I going to abort the manifestation that I've been working on because it's right around the corner? It's about to get here. So if you stick with me, just do real quick, I'm going to share with you my doubt, but then my framework for getting back on track, not necessarily even with manifestation, but getting back on track with believing in myself. Because the real lesson of manifestation, the real lesson of positive personal development, the real lesson in goal setting, the real lesson in law of attraction is that you change your state of mind. And no matter how bad it gets, no matter what direction you have to choose, even if that choice is changing direction and getting off track, at least you can control your state of mind, your view of yourself, so that you don't beat yourself up too much. Because I know when I started observing that prayers had a very low percentage of coming true in my early 20s, I was told just to buckle down. I was told my faith wasn't enough. I was told that I wasn't doing it right. I wasn't shaking the bones right. I wasn't praying right. And I can't tell you how difficult that rocks your sense of identity. Hey, here's this piece of advice. You're not following it. That's why you're not seeing the results. Okay, well, I go follow the advice. And then it doesn't work out. And they say, well, you didn't follow the advice right. And you go, okay, well, show me how to follow this advice right. And so you develop a skewed or a bent or a warped relationship with manifestation, or a warped relationship with personal development. So let's talk about this and more. But before we do anything, I start the Grant Sparks Show with a morning cup of gratitude because I got to change my paradigm. And I know you do too. And the number one way to change your paradigm, the way you're seeing the world and the way you're acting in the world, is to enter a state of gratitude even when you don't feel like it. And I'm telling you, right now, I don't feel like it. So that's why I'm going to do it. Let's talk about morning cup of gratitude. Grab a warm cup of coffee, grab a warm cup of tea, and start with this. Asking yourself what you're grateful for today. And I want you to post in the comments for me. Post what you're grateful for. You got to start there. If you can't post what you're grateful for, you are emotionally constipated. Today, I am absolutely grateful for native curiosity, the curiosity that led me into the New Thought movement, the curiosity that had me study law of attraction, the curiosity that had me study manifestation, the curiosity that had me read the Kabbalion, and then the curiosity to question those things. Because if you can't question the things, they aren't truth. Truth will stand the test of time. It can stand and withstand all questioning. And so I am grateful with my morning cup of gratitude today. I'm absolutely grateful for inherent curiosity. Are you? What are you grateful for today? You got to tell me in the comments because you got to this is your opportunity. You don't get many opportunities. JM Strand J, Terry, Beach Girl 39. You don't often get an opportunity to express gratitude to another living human being. So today, this morning, in the comments, if you're on TikTok, if you're on Twitch, if you're on YouTube, I see you. Tell me in the comments what you're grateful for so that I can hype you. Let's talk about the challenge that I've had in my journey, my troubled, bumpy journey with manifestation. The purest teaching I have ever found. JM Strand J, I hope you're doing great. Beach Girl 39, thanks for being here. The number one thing I've seen work, walking on waves, good morning, thanks for stopping by. The number one thing I have seen work in this entire quest of personal development is goal setting and vision. That has carried me through. Good morning, Gus, I hope you're doing great. That has carried me through some of the biggest challenges I have ever had. And so many of us write our vision down, write the vision and make it plain that he who reads it may run with it, says in old scripture. Hector, good morning. I hope you're doing great. So you might have done the vision work. You might have done the goal setting. I know I have. But then you got into manifestation and then you journaled and then you visualized more. And I believe in visualization. And then you affirmed more. And I believe in affirmation. Good morning, Jelliot. And yet something feels off with you. I want to hear in the comments if you have done the journaling and something feels off. If you've done the visualization and you're wrestling with doubt. If you've done the goal setting and the journaling and the meditation and you're trying to believe for something and to believe yourself into a new level, but something feels off. I want to hear gut level honesty in the comments below. I want to hear your honest, vulnerable response. Do you feel doubt? I do. I have felt doubt for so long, and I shamed myself for feeling doubt as it came to visualization, as it came to trying to picture a better life for myself. Now, I have had no problem visualizing. I've had no problem journaling and affirmations and meditation. And honestly, I've had no problem changing my state of mind when I really was confronted with challenges. Now, of late, I've been a little challenged in that, to be honest. And I got to be transparent when it comes to this stuff. But historically, I know the tools it takes to change my mindset. And when I change my mindset, I know I start to see opportunity. I start to move differently. But as it comes to manifestation and law of attraction, I have carried a large amount of self-guilt because I've carried some doubt. You're believing, but progress feels super slow. You're trusting the process, but you're also quietly wondering who's going to pay my bills if I don't. You're asking yourself, am I actually aligned, or am I doing these things avoiding a harder truth? Do I believe in manifestation because it's easier than facing a harsher truth? What could that harsher truth be? I'm not as hard worker as I thought. I have modalities of avoidance. I'm not as good at navigating this life as I thought I'd be. I'm avoiding something. Have you ever gone through the believing, the trusting the process, the manifesting, only to maybe have a hint of questioning harsher truths, and then you revert back to the manifesting because it's easier to believe that manifesting is just difficult. It's not me. You're avoiding harsher truths. You see, most people don't fail at manifestation. They fail at knowing when to question it. You see, what's tougher about this is human psychology hates ambiguity. When results from manifesting, when results from law of attraction lag, we tend to double down on hope instead of clarity. When we see that we're manifesting, or we're praying, or we're journaling, and our goals are not coming to us as quickly as our bills are, and doubt starts to come in, we know we might need to get some clarity about where my failings are, what I should be doing differently. But instead, we double down on pie in the sky hope. We confuse faith. We confuse faith with passivity. We confuse patience with inaction. We tell ourselves we're being patient, but the truth is we're just not taking action. We're saying I'm acting in faith, but we're actually acting in passivity. And because the brain is a prediction machine, uncertainty becomes anxiety. We're not facing anything with clarity. We've actually compounded our uncertainty. And that becomes anxiety, self-doubt, magical thinking. And suddenly we ask ourselves, and we really have to double down again. Our identity was that if we believed in manifestation, it would happen. It's not happening. And instead of getting clarity, instead of taking massive action, getting a new job, changing the relationship, we double down into the uncertainty and just say, Jesus, take the wheel. We double down on uncertainty into magical thinking. Maybe something will happen if I hold out long enough. If I'm just persistent enough in this strategy, something else will happen. Unexamined manifestation practices does not build confidence. It quietly erodes it. Hear that again. Unexamined manifestation practices does not build confidence. It quietly erodes it. And then you start second guessing yourself, but you don't face it. And then you start second guessing the strategy, but you don't become a leveled up entrepreneur. You just push that thought away as doubt. Magical thinking. So what do we do about this? Well, manifestation isn't fragile. It doesn't break when questioned if it's truth. In fact, the right questions are how manifestation matures. So today I'm going to give you a quick framework of when to ask a question, what questions you should be asking, and more importantly, what exactly to do next. So I'm shaping this framework for myself called the Quest Framework of Manifestation because I want to maintain faith. I want to keep faith. I want to stay happy. I want to stay joyful. I want to keep believing that good in the world is manifesting for me. But I have to take a different course of actions while doing that belief. While holding this belief, I have to have another course of action. So I came up with this Quest Framework as a compass for intentional questioning. and decisive action. Q, qualification check. Here's the core question. What's grounded in reality versus wishful thinking? Is this desire grounded in reality and aligned, or am I just emotionally charged and escaping? You see, some goals feel excited because they're true. Other goals feel exciting because they promise relief from discomfort. Hear that again. Some goals feel exciting because they are truth. Other goals feel exciting because they promise relief from discomfort. This separates calling from coping. When you do a qualification check, it separates. Is this a goal that is aligned with my calling? Am I trying to manifest something that is aligned with my calling? Or am I trying to manifest something that is coping with discomfort? Manifestation works best when desire has been clarified by responsibility. You cannot have reward without articulating responsibility. Manifestation does not relieve you of shaping and owning your responsibility. Believing that something will work does not alleviate you from the responsibility of making it work. So here's what I want you to do today. What's the action you can take on qualifying your goals on round manifestation? What you can do is write the goal and list what you can control versus what you're hoping will just happen. Are you putting in the reps? Are you making the dials? Or are you just hoping that someone will call you and say, I'm going to take care of this for you? If you can't answer this, you lack clarity and you're not being honest with yourself. Manifestation, out of control, unhealthy manifestation at some point, out of control, unhealthy manifestation is hoping something will happen without a responsible action tied to it. And so to do this first step, qualify your goals by asking yourself, what of this can I control? What can I take action on? Versus what am I just hoping will happen? You, in our quest framework of manifestation, update the inputs. Here's your core question. This is the question you need to ask. Am I still aligning my actions with my stated intentions? Do my daily behaviors match the future I'm asking for? Your habits, your environment, your nervous system, your consumption patterns, they're voting every day with your time and your money. Whether you notice it or not, you cannot manifest a future while feeding outdated inputs. You can't manifest a future of more sales than you ever had, 10 times more sales than you ever had, and you didn't do 10 times more phone calls. You're not manifesting, you're hoping. You cannot manifest a healthy and fit body. You want to lose 10 pounds. You want to lose 10% of your body fat, but you don't consume 10 to 20% less food. You're just trying to manifest that body. It doesn't work. The math doesn't math. So you have to update your inputs. Do my daily actions align with my stated intention? Gut level honest. Open up your journal and write that question down. Do just like Morning Cup of Gratitude. Don't just listen to this show. Literally, open up your notebook right now. Write down your goal. $15,000 months, $100,000 months, debt-free home, the perfect relationship, and then ask yourself, are my daily actions lining up with this? If you've only made $5,000 a month and you're trying to make 15, that's a 3x factor. Have you done 3x the inputs? Maybe not 3 times the amount of work, but have you looked up 3 times as many job applications to new jobs? Have you done 3 times as many searches for side businesses or side hustles? What's your input? Do your inputs align with your stated intentions? Here's your action. Audit one full freaking day. And I want you to track what you consume, what you tolerate, something that happened to you that glitches with you, but you tolerated it. Stuff you avoid, conversations you think you should have, but you avoided them. Things you repeat verbally and action-wise, just over and over unconsciously. And then ask, do these things support my stated desired output? If I ate yet another piece of pizza, but I stated I wanted to lose weight and I was going to eat chicken and rice, I need an honest, misaligned input. And here's the action I want you to take. Update or change one misaligned input right now. Either change the goal, get rid of it so that you relieve your psyche. If you don't really want to lose weight, you really do want the pizza, then drop the goal of losing weight. Or go meal prep for just today. Go pack a bag of just chicken, just lunch, just fruit, just chicken, just rice, just fruit. And realign with this input so that your inputs match your desired outputs. Q, do a qualification check. That qualification check asks yourself, is my goal grounded in reality or wishful thinking? Am I emotionally charged because it's truth, or am I emotionally charged because it feels like a good escape? Q, U, update your inputs. Make sure that the things you're doing align with your stated intent. E, evidence review. Ask yourself, this is your core question. What signs am I ignoring? What data, what facts am I ignoring? What feedback from reality is it already giving me? What feedback is my reality already giving me that I'm on the right path or not? Manifestation is not silent. We think, a lot of people who are trying to manifest think that manifestation operates in quiet, in the background. Progress, resistance, boredom, friction, surprise, all of it is feedback for manifestation. Ignoring feedback doesn't make you faithful. Oh, I'm just going to act in faith, but you're ignoring feedback. Ignoring feedback doesn't make you faithful. It makes you blind. It means you're ignoring the very signs for manifestation. If you said you want a better relationship and the signs that you're getting are like, man, this is not healthy, you got to at least zero base and say, this isn't healthy. I want to make it healthy, but you got to have a starting point. So in our QUEST, our quest framework for manifestation and realigning ourselves so that manifestation can work for us, you got to do an evidence review. E, evidence review. And the question is what signs am I ignoring? List 3 important signals that you with intellectual integrity know, honestly, you've been ignoring in the last 30 days. Journal wins, 3 wins. Journal warnings, 3 warnings. Ask yourself what's working and what feels off. And label them, green light, yellow light, red light, or go, no go. But respond. You have to take action once you see those things, that honest review. Q, qualification check. Is this grounded in reality or is it wishful thinking? And I'm hoping for something I do not control. U, update your inputs. Do my actions align with my desired stated intent? E, evidence review. Am I ignoring the signs because of my magical thinking? S, QUEST, how to realign with manifestation. S, specific adjustments. Here's your core question. What exactly needs refinement, not abandonment? General positivity will not cut it. Be precise. What exactly do I need to refine, but not abandon? Maybe you want to 3x your income. And I just need to refine my mornings to make sure I get my 30 plus dials, my 30 plus emails, my 30 plus DMs, because I want the 3x output on revenue. Often your vision is not wrong. Often your desire is not wrong. Your execution is just imprecise. You might be ignoring the data, ignoring the signs of manifestation for wishful thinking because you want to be faithful to the vision. But your execution is just off. If you're off 1 degree and start sailing towards the horizon, by the time you reach the horizon in a sailboat, you'll be 27 miles off course. Think about that. So you have to have constant adjustments, not that you can go in a straight line, but you have to constantly measure and adjust. So making specific adjustments as you go, asking yourself, what exactly needs refinement? Because just being positive won't make the refinement. So answer this clearly. Here's the action I want you to take. Answer this absolutely clearly. Pick one thing to tweak this week that brings you closer to the target. Is that target fitness and health? Healthy, happy relationships, work you enjoy, spirituality and fulfillment and alignment in any of those areas? What is one thing that you can get more aligned with, that your inputs can realign you with? And can you move closer? Because I'm here to tell you, I've done enough goal coaching to know most people are doing zero. They might be taking effort. They might be working towards it, but not one thing is aligned with their stated input other than hoping and wishful thinking. Manifestation is not wishful thinking. What is it? We'll answer that in a second. Ask this question of yourself for specific adjustments, QUEST, specific adjustments. It's this: if I made this tweak today, and every day this week, it's Monday, you've got a full week. If I made this tweak today, what would I be doing differently by Friday? Because manifestation, again, it's not hoping something changes for you. I'll tell you what it is straight at you in just a quick second. If it's not becoming radically obvious what manifestation really is yet, it will in a moment. QUEST, T. To realign with manifestation so that it works for you. T, take decisive action. Here's your question. What would commitment look like if fear didn't have a say? Would I be door dashing? Would I be Ubering? Would I be posting my content all over the place? Everyone tells me to pick one thing in my content. I can't do it, so I'm not posting anything, and I think I want to be a personal brand. Maybe that's it. Maybe you want to sell everything and go to the beach, but you're afraid. What will I do? Will I live in my car? What would commitment, absolute commitment, look like if fear wasn't allowed to vote? Now, you don't have to do anything about that yet, but you at first have to admit it. Action is not a betrayal of maintaining your faith that manifesting is working for you. In fact, action is faith in motion. Read just about any faith manuscript from the last 3,000 years, and it says something like, faith without works is dead. Manifestation accelerates when you move before certainty arrives. Hear that again. Manifestation accelerates when you take action before certainty arrives. And then when certainty arrives, exponential growth is assured. Here's the action I want you to take. Take one visible, irreversible. Hear me on this. Take one visible, irreversible step today. Do one measurable thing today that moves you toward an outcome, not just a vibe. We think manifestation is vibes. And if I got my vibes right, money bags will fall out of the sky. People will call me to be on their podcast. That one podcast will take off and, I got to make sure I have a course and the course will sell. Or some bullshit. I'll be in the right networking group and someone will drop the real estate property deal on me. And, I've heard that if you find the right deal, money will appear. And so even though I don't have down payment money or deposit money, it's just going to happen. It could. It's not impossible, but it is improbable. It's not a vibe. You have to do the prep work. Did you nurture relationships for the last 3 to 6 months of hard money lenders? Did you do test runs of your DoorDash just to make the extra $1,000 a month you were going to invest in gold or silver? Did you take action? Do one measurable, irreversible thing today. Send a message. Book a call, publish a blog post or a video or a reel, make your ask, speak your piece or your truth, ask the girl out, buy a gym membership, hire a trainer, irreversible, you've spent the money. Then let reality respond. Quest. How to realign manifestation so that it's working for you. QUEST. Qualification. Qualify your goals. Make sure they're grounded in reality and not wishful thinking. You update your inputs. Ask yourself, do my daily behaviors align with my stated intent? E, evidence review. What feedback is reality already giving you that you're ignoring? And validate it. S, specific adjustments. Ask yourself what exactly needs refinement and get about it and be precise. T, take decisive action. Take an absolutely irreversible action today and ask yourself, what would commitment to my goal actually look like? Listen, manifestation is never about taking something in faith and never questioning it. It's about questioning it at the right time, in the right way, in the right spirit, with the right reason. And when you ask better questions, you don't lose faith, you aim your faith. Hear that again. When you ask better questions, you don't lose your faith, you aim your faith. Clarity beats hope every day. Action beats waiting. And vision becomes real when questioned wisely. Listen, if you're hurting to pay your bills and you're trying to manifest bills, DoorDash, I am. You have a vision? Great, I do too. But it's being challenged. And I got to do whatever it takes to create opportunity. And I'm not going to take this little course of action forever, but I got to take some action to manifest the vision that I want to manifest. And to do that, I've got to take massive action today. I'm going to make my 30 calls. I'm going to make my 30 DMs. I'm going to post the content. I'm going to schedule it out. I'm going to try to book a call, try to book a sale. I'm going to do whatever it takes because it's not over until I win. And what over looks like when it comes to manifestation is sitting on the porch, hoping that the next course, the next guru will have the answer. And it's a silver freaking bullet. There is no silver bullet. The quote goes, I find the harder I work, the luckier I get. So this is what manifestation is. Manifesting is your mind deciding to take action and to create opportunity. Hear that again. The one and only thing manifestation does when successful is it manifests a better paradigm and mindset for you to take massive action you never would have taken before, taking risks you never would have taken before, and see the opportunities that arrive. Notice them when they arrive because opportunities are arriving all the time. We just don't notice them. And using them, working with them, manifesting them, taking them to the next level. It is not a lucky breakthrough. It is you breaking through. That is manifesting. Why am I talking about any of this? Because people are hurting. I can't tell you how many people I know are hurting right now. You come to the end. You cannot do another thing. You can't take another piece of advice. In fact, if anything, it's going to come down to you getting a second job as a bricklayer, breaking up with that girl, asking that girl out, buying the house, selling the house. It's that big step for you. It is time. We don't know how long the societal unrest will last. We don't know how long the economy is going to be having its way with us. We don't know that if moving to Spain is going to solve your problems, moving to Costa Rica is going to solve your problems, moving to Denver, moving to Florida. We don't know that. In fact, if you follow any of the influencers, most of them are starting to say, oh, I've been gone now a year. I've been gone now 6 months, and it doesn't fix your problems. Just go look. But what does work is when you work. And I don't just mean work harder. I don't just mean sweat. I don't mean give up. I don't mean that at all. I mean roll your sleeves up and do the work you're avoiding. Is it your phone calls? Is it those difficult conversations? Is it your prayer? Is it your journaling? Whatever it is, it's time. Why am I talking about any of this? Because the world is dying and it needs people who are alive. Don't go out and find what the world needs. Find what makes you alive, because what the world needs is people who are alive. Remember the mission. This is your mission. It's my mission. I'm allowing you to take my mission. Igniting lives of explosive significance, starting with your own. Have a great day.